On June 11th, Mewton invited us to an event which was held on F123, and because of it, I was very interested to participate in it, and also the motivation to participate in it was because if we will win this event, we will win money. Although yeah, not a lot of it, but we will win at least some of money. And TingLing and myself were interested in it, but in the end, Mewton and I were the SRX who were gonna participate in that event. And this event is gonna be Mexicans versus Spanish, and it's gonna be 22 laps in Belgium and 36 laps in Brazil. First Brazil and then Belgium. Short quality for each of the two races, so this event will take around 3 hours, but well, let's see if we can beat the Spanish. And they see that they are a little bit fast, maybe faster than us, and maybe these Mexicans are faster than me. I don't know. I don't know much of them other than Mewton, Fercho, and some of the others. So let's go and do our best. So we see that during the qualifying session that the Spaniards are pretty fast, and us Mexicans aren't that competitive to beat the Spanish, and maybe Mewton and I are the hope for them. And qualifying is ending and we are in P9. I have set lap times, but looks like they aren't good enough to get into good positions. Meanwhile, I am trying to go for the best lap I can. Meanwhile, Sergio Sobrino sets a lap time that gets into pole position. He's Spanish, so yeah, that's gonna be a terrible thing for us, because this might mean that they'll get an easy win. And we head into Yunsao. We set the fastest sector 2, so looks like we're gonna have a little bit of hope to get into the high positions. And we head into the DRS straight. We end the lap. We're improving by 2/10 overall, and we set a lap time of 1:07.892, which puts us into 5th position. And let's see if any Mexican has set a better lap time than us. And no, we're the fastest Mexican in qualifying, and we dropped down to 6th position because a Spaniard set a faster lap time than myself. And it's a 1-2-3-4-5 of Spain. A 1-2 for Mercedes, but that doesn't matter. It's a 1-2-5 for Spain. And meanwhile, Mewton and myself are the fastest two Mexicans of qualifying. So yeah, it's not going pretty well, and maybe we'll lose this race. But still, let's try our best, because maybe they'll only be extremely great in qualifying, but only good in the races, because they were saying my teammates. So with that, we get a little bit of hope to overtake them and get into the podium, maybe into a win, but let's see. So we're gonna start on mediums. We loaded the fuel with 52.5 kilograms, and we are on the way for the Brazilian Grand Prix, the first race out of 2 for this Spain versus Mexico event. And we head into the CNS down the inside, and we overtake a Haas, I think so, and we are up into P5. Well, we are wheel to wheel with the Haas, but I am overtaking him into Recta Oposta, and looks like everyone that are between myself is gonna be starting on hards, and oh boy, that is gonna be a little bit of a unknown situation for me, kinda, because well, I don't know how many laps will they maintain with those hard tires. Well, but let's not focus on that thing. The main thing is that we need to overtake these cars as fast as we can because they are hards, we are mediums, and we are a bit of an advantage, so we need to overtake them, yes or yes. But when we began lap 2, Virtual retires from the race, and that deployed the virtual safety car, and Paulina is also out of the race, so they have collided into a straight maybe. We're heading to turn 1 and the full course safety car got deployed. That is not the thing I wanted to wish that it happened. That is a little bit of a tough situation, but I don't think myself and the cars that are in front of me will box. So it'll be like the race got paused, and after the safety car we might stay in P5, and at the end of the safety car, yes indeed, we stayed in P5, and we are racing once again, and we head into turn 1, the Passar and the Williams. Ooh, dive bombed myself down the inside, but a Ferrari and that Williams spun, and we are up, well, still back in P5, and now Lepasam is the Mexican that is in the highest position, not anymore myself, but maybe Lepasam might catch the Spanish, and I might maintain the gap between the Spanish that are behind myself and slow them down a little bit, so Lepasam doesn't need to worry about the Spanish that are behind me, and so he can focus 100% of the Spanish that are in front of him. And laps passed, we are on lap 11, and I managed to catch the Lepasam and the Spanish, and Lepasam decided to let me pass by so I can catch the Spanish and overtake them, because I managed to be faster than him, so maybe that's my chance to get into the podium and beat the Spanish. So let's do that thing and hope I can be able to do that thing. But unfortunately I wasn't able to do that thing. Inda is out of the race, and that deployed the full course safety car, so now I cannot overtake them because of that. I was gonna box 4 hard tires because it was the reasonable thing, and also the engineer was recommending me to do that thing, but my teammates were telling me to go for another set of mediums because at the end of the race it was gonna rain, and they were thinking that it was gonna rain heavy enough to go for inters. Although yeah, I was believing them a little bit, but I was having the fear to see that the rain wasn't heavy enough to go for inters, and in reality I should have gotten 4 hard tires in order to not make another unnecessary pit stop. But I believe them, I risked it, and we are gonna go for medium tires. Lots of drivers are going to the pit lane, and the hards that are gonna go for mediums, and the medium goers, I don't know, but either they're gonna go for another set of mediums or they're gonna box for hards. Lepasam jumped me into the pit lane, so now he is up into P4 and we are back to P5. Hope he is fast enough so he can really overtake them. If not, maybe he needs to let me pass by. Lap 15 and the safety car ends, and with that we are gonna race once again. As we begin lap 16, we are still in P5, but not for long, because the Ferrari is gonna overtake me down the inside into turn 1. I try to defend, but unfortunately it's not going successfully, and we are down to P6. That is unfortunate. Oh, that is unfortunate, and well, hope I can overtake him, but unfortunately that did not happen, and despite Lepasam letting me pass, I wasn't fast enough, and I decided to let Mewton pass, and despite he having a 5-second time penalty, I decided to let him pass, because I was thinking that he's faster than me, despite running out of ERS. It's a little bit tough. I am faster in the straights, but he is faster in the corners. I don't know. Maybe I was gonna regret doing that thing, and maybe I should have gotten back into P5, and that's the thing I did. But on lap 23, Mewton decided to re-overtake me down the inside, down bumped me, and I did not make that much of an effort to defend the position because I was thinking that he is now indeed faster than me. And to make things worse, Sexify is out of the race, and that is one of my teammates. So yeah, we are now less Mexicans than in the previous laps, and hope that Mewton is faster than me overall and also in the straights. So I see it a reason why I am behind him. Laps passed, and no matter if I was ahead of Mewton or he was ahead of me, it was still gonna do the same result. We were gonna finish 5th and 6th for now, but beginning lap 27, it's starting to rain, so I was hoping and also thinking that it was gonna rain heavy enough to go for intermediates, but I was more hoping than thinking because I wasn't that much of a thinking to box for intermediate because I was afraid that the rain wasn't gonna be heavy enough, but still I had to box for intermediate, yes or yes, if the rain gets heavy. But if it's not like that, maybe we will have box for soft tires at the end of the race and try to set the fastest lap. Carly Carvalho is out of the race, but that did not matter that much because she was at the back of the field for the entirety of the race. Poor Carly. But anyway, we begin lap 28 and we see that El Gatito is boxing from hard tires to I don't know which tire, because Kilometro Zero overtook El Gatito and I did not see which tire compound was he chosen to box. So for now, let's maintain with medium tires. But laps passed and rain wasn't heavy enough to go for intermediates, or at least guaranteed, and I was in a tough situation. Rain wasn't heavy enough and medium tires are still the fastest tire, well, slicks tires, but I decided to go for intermediates now because I could not stay out or else I'll get disqualified, because mediums is the only set of tires that I have been running for this entirety of the race, and it's illegal to complete the race with only one set of tire running, well, at least one compound of it. Well, both of them are legal, and we're gonna box for intermediates, although yeah, it's not gonna be easily the fastest tire, but for now it is kinda the same pace, so I decided to go for it just because I did not want to get disqualified. And also I was saying earlier on that the other option was going for softs to get the fastest lap. Nah, it wasn't the option anymore because rain was still heavy enough, and because of it I was going slower, and that made it impossible to go for the fastest lap. So now it was the only option. Go for intermediates, although yeah, it was not a good thing for me, but was the only option. And now it's time to catch Marco back and get back into P6. Good thing is that he has a 3-second time penalty, so this makes the task less harder because it is gonna be extremely hard, maybe impossible. But well, let's see if I can catch him and get back in P6. But unfortunately I could not catch Marcos and get back in P6. Although yeah, going for Inters, in reality it was a good option, and the rain got heavier and we finished P7. Mewton finished P5, and yeah, it was a 1-2-3-4 for Spain. It was a dominant race for the Spaniards, and I wasn't that frustrated because it was a tough race. It was a very difficult race, and honestly I did the best I could, so I should not get angry, and I did not get angry. Let's look at the rest of the race results. Alberto Millán finished 8th after starting from 50th, so he did a great comeback. Lepassan finished 9th, El Gatito finished 10th, Takeda finished 11th, Kilómetro Cero finished 12th, Carlocky 13th, and Formula Directa finished P14. So in conclusion, we see that the Spanish were pretty great in the races. Although yeah, I thought that they were gonna be only good in races, but extremely great in quality. But yeah, honestly, they were great in both. So with that, hope we go and get a better race in Belgium, and at least beat the Spanish. After a 3-minute break, we are back for the second race of the event in Belgium. We are in qualifying, and it's going pretty decent, maybe even better than the previous qualifying in Brazil. And I set a lap time of 1:41.8, and now qualifying is ending, and now I'm setting a better lap time, trying to set a better lap time. We head into Lecombe. We drop down to P7 after being on like provisional pole for a brief moment, and then dropping down to P2 and staying like that until like 4 minutes before qualifying ended, maybe, I think. And we head into No Name Corner. It is going pretty equal, kind of the same pace as the previous lap. Mewton sets a lap time of 1:40.8, so he's dominating this qualifying, so for sure it is gonna be a better qualifying than the previous one. And we are about to exit sector 2, and we are overall improving by more than a tenth, almost by 2/10 now, and we are heading into Blanchimont in this straight edge, improving overall by 2/10, and hope this maintains like that, or maybe even better. And we head into the bus stop chicane. We brake a little bit decently, we brake greatly, and we are exiting the chicane. We did not get a great exit compared to the previous lap. We set the lap time of 1:41.596, and we qualify 5th position, and we get dropped down to 6th position once again, just as the previous qualifying. And that's the thing I wanted to see, a Mexican getting pole position, and it is Mewton. So yeah, good on him. Oh yeah, I am the 3rd Mexican who set the fastest time. El Gatito is the 2nd one, I think so. Yeah, it is a 2:3:5 of Spain. And Diego Fernandez qualified 7th, Lepassan qualified 8th, Sexify 9th, Formula Directa in 10th, Takeda in 11th, Alberto Millán in 12th, Kilómetro Cero in 13th, Inda in 14th, Fercho and Carlocky qualified 15th and 16th. And well, hope you have checked the bottom 3, I think so, because I did not mention them, and because of it, now let's head into the race and hope it goes as equally as in qualifying. So now we are about to get prepared for the race. We start on mediums, and we loaded the fuel with 50 kilograms, and the 5 red lights have been turned on, and we are underway for the second race of the event, and it's going pretty decently, and we head round the outside into Las Ruas. We are getting away cleanly, as it should be, and thankfully it did. And meanwhile, I am trying to overtake El Gatito around the outside into Ojos, and ooh, we made contact. but still it isn't as major because we are still gaining control, and oh boy, lots of drivers are trying to overtake me, and it is a 3 wide heading into the, oh my goodness, being to a column as lots of drivers in front of me have spun, and we get up into P4, and for now it is a 2-3-4 of Mexico, and we are in P4, Lepasam in third, and El Gatito in second. Haas is leading, but he's a Spanish, so he must be defeated by ourselves, and Lepasam decided to let me pass, and we get up into P3. Meanwhile, let's see if we can get up into second place, or maybe into race lead if El Gatito doesn't get pretty well. Oh boy, safety car got deployed, so that means that, that is a tough decision to do if we're gonna stay out or box for hards, but my teammates told me to box for hards, and I decided to listen to them. El Gatito decided to let me pass, so we get up into P2. So now it is my chance to get the race lead. Well, in reality it's not the chance because we are gonna box for hards and we're gonna drop a few places, so it doesn't really matter if El Gatito did let me pass or not. We're gonna lose positions because we're gonna box for hards. Fortunately, it's going pretty well, and we leave the box on hards. And on lap 3, the safety car ends. We drop down to P13, and we're gonna be behind Fercho. And looks like it got a little bit messy, but well, in reality it wasn't. It's just myself saying messy, and we begin racing once again on lap 4, and let's take it a little bit calmly because some of the drivers are yet to pit and I have already boxed, so yeah, eventually they'll box, so we're gonna get up a few places, many places later on, and we head into the Camel Straight. We get the slipstream from Fercho, we overtake him down the inside, heading into the comb, and we set the fastest sector 1, and oh my goodness me, lots of drivers have spawned, and I got scared of it. I got scared because I saw an Alpine and I thought I would get DNF. Fortunately, he was ghosted, so nothing happened to me. Lap 7 and I got kilometer 0, and we head into the DRS zone, and I overtook him easily. And I did not even need DRS, but still I decided to deploy him in order to maintain P7, and he had no chance to overtake me. Unfortunately, I wasn't fast enough to create a gap, and kilometer 0 overtook me after failing to defend my 6th position in a bit of an aggressive manner, and kilometer 0 has run out of ERS, so maybe I can overtake him later on, but he slowed me down so much that Fercho might overtake me and push me down to P8, and hope that doesn't happen. We head into Fon, and we see that kilometer 0 almost spins, and I slow down a little bit because I thought he was gonna crash into me, and Fercho never overtook me because of it. Man, kilometer 0, that it is just a scary thing. That's not funny, or maybe he's doing on purpose so he can slow me down and maintain his position, but well, unfortunately for him that might not work because Fercho is gonna overtake kilometer 0, and we head into the bus stop chicane. I decided to not get involved into that fight, and Fercho decided to not overtake, and kilometer 0 boxes, and we are back to P7, but now we are sandwiched with the AlphaTauri, and we see it is a 5, 6, 7, 8 for the Red Bull family. So yeah, quite a fun fact. And when we headed into the Brussels, Alberto Millan is out of the race, and that deployed the full course safety car. So because of that, we gained a position, and maybe he had lost control and spun into a wall and broke his suspension. That's the thing I think it happened. We see that Sergio Sobrino is in 4th after starting in which position? Like in the bottom positions, maybe in dead last, I think so. So yeah. Anyway, because of the safety car, we're gonna box for medium tires, and with that, I think everybody has boxed. Everybody that has been ahead of me have boxed, and we actually managed to gain positions instead of losing positions in the pit lane. So we got up into P5, and on lap 12 the safety car ends, and with that we begin racing once again in P5 in lap 13. And Fercho is ahead of me, so maybe he needs to let me pass in order to catch the Spanish and Mewton. Later on, when we headed into Le Rochelle, we are still in P5, and we see that Sergio Sobrino is behind us, and he decided to dive bomb me down the inside into the no-name corner. He pushed me wide. That is such an aggressive overtake. But we see that Sergio Sobrino is about to overtake Fercho around the outside into the SSO campus, and then postpone. Oh boy, we get up into P4 in such an unusual way. This is what happens when you wanted to overtake in a corner just because you were so desperate and wanted to get into that position right now. You spun and you got nothing. And that's how we get up in P4, and well, let's see if we can catch the top 3. And on lap 15 I overtook the Haas, and we got up into P3, but it is because the Haas spun, and that made the gap way shorter, and that we made an easy catch to overtake him. Now, we exceeded track limits, and we got a track limit warning. Let's be a little bit careful, but for now let's see if we can catch the top 2, but I think we won't be able to catch them. And there is yellow flags, and the safety car got deployed, full course safety car. So well, that means that we're gonna change a little bit of our strategy. Well, of course we will need to change it because it is 7 laps to go, and that means that we're gonna box for soft tires. And that's the thing that everyone else, except a few of them, did. And on lap 17, the safety car ends. I run a little bit wide into the bus stop chicane entry, and we are racing once again. On lap 18, we are in P5 with the penalties applied because Sergio Sobrino has a 3-second time penalty, and he stay out, I think so, because he just got up into P5 after spinning, and he's on mediums. So yeah, he might have a difficult time maintaining that position, and we head into Lecombe in the Camel Straight, catching Sobrino, and he's not having much of the cornering speed, and we exit Lecombe, and we try to overtake him and get up into P5, and he got pretty slowly exiting Bruxelles, and we are maintaining P5 until there is a chance that we can overtake him. But instead I decided to go for the dive Sergio Sobrino did to Fercho around the outside, heading to the Campus SS, and in this time I did it successfully, not like the case of Sergio, who did it and failed. With that, we get up into P5. Now it's time to catch the Spanish and overtake them and get into the podium, and hopefully This works pretty well, but Sergio Sobrino tries to re-overtake me, heading into the bus stop chicane, and oh my goodness me, he's done it in aggressive overtake. I did not think that much that he would actually dive me, and he's done it. Fortunately, it did not go terribly wrong, but yeah, it did go a bit wrong, and Sergio Sobrino, oh my goodness me, you're so desperate, man. Oh my goodness me, you just made contact, and oh my goodness me, Formula Directa is trying to overtake me, but fortunately he did not, so at least it wasn't just a terrible case of losing 3 positions in a few seconds, and the RS is not activated yet, but still I decided to go for the double overtake, or at least that's what I was thinking, but it needed to be waiting for a few moments, and Sergio Sobrino is getting overtaken aggressively by Sexify, and for now it is going pretty aggressive with lots of aggressive overtakes or aggressive tries to myself and to Sexify, and Sexify to Sergio Sobrino, and we get back into P6 and we head into 4, and unfortunately that might not anymore be happening, the chances to get into the podium. There's 3 laps to go and the virtual safety car got deployed, so yeah, it slowed down a little bit the things, and that's not the thing I wanted it to happen, but at least it's not gonna convert into a full course safety car, I think so, because there are just so few laps to go, and I think it is impossible at this time for the safety car to be deployed. And on lap 20, virtual safety car ends, and DRS is now activated, and now I have DRS from Sexify and hope he let me pass so I can have the chance to catch the Spanish and get up into the podium maybe. Fortunately, I could overtake easily without needing to do so many inputs, and we get up into P5, and hopefully we get up 2 more positions before this race ends. It is less than 3 laps to go. Let's see if I can do this thing, but for now we are in P4 actually, because Marcos has a 3-second time penalty, so with the penalties applied he's down to P5 and I am up into P4, and Diego Fernandez is on medium, so maybe I can overtake these 2 drivers on track because they have less grip and I have more grip, and oh my goodness me, hope this works as I intended to be. And on lap 21 I caught Marcos heading into the comp, but unfortunately I could not overtake him until Starlot, and that hindered me my chances to get into the podium, because now I have to overtake pretty hardly, and Diego Fernandez is pretty close to myself, so I can maybe overtake him around the outside into the post-up chicane, but no, we are still wheel to wheel with the Haas of Marcos, and we get the RS. Oh my goodness me, still we are wheel to wheel, and we begin the final lap of the race. We head round the outside into Las Ruas, and we make contact, and oh no, we are still wheel to wheel. Fortunately, now I overtook him, but now we run out of ERS, so now I cannot overtake Diego Fernandez because I don't have ERS anymore. I don't have ERS, and I am trying to defend crazily in an aggressive manner, and lots of drivers are bunching up, and we head into the comp. Fortunately, we are still in P4, but that is unfortunate. That is unfortunate, but maybe can we overtake Diego Fernandez into the bus stop chicane? Unfortunately, the answer was no, and instead we had comfort finishing P4, but well, at least it was a good position because I tried my best to finish in that position and I did not get absolutely frustrating moments. And also a better thing is that Mewton has won the second race of the event, so yeah, at least that's a great thing. So it's a 1-4 for Red Bull and SRX Formula Directa finishes 5th position, 65 finishes 6th, Fercho in 7th, Marcos in 8th, Takeda in 9th, El Gatito in 10th, Jorge finishes in 11th, Tejeriño, the Northern Irish driver, finishes 12th, Carlocky finishes 13th, and Carly Carvalho finishes in P14 and last. And with that, this ends this event. And yeah, it was a pretty good performance for myself. Although yeah, unfortunately we did not win, but we tried our best. The thing is that the Spanish were so well communicated and coordinated. And with that, this ends this event. Hope you have enjoyed this video, and see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.